Hey everybody, how you doing? Um, Today's gonna be a good day. It almost started badly because this gentleman who was holding the door open for a girl almost didn't get a thank you from her. And the next set of doors were my doors, which I was holding open for her. And I almost decided not to hold the door open for her because I thought she wasn't going to say thank you to the gentleman at the first set of doors, but she did. Now, had I shut the door on her, I would have felt like shit. Either way, I mean, back in the day, back when I wasn't giving my will to God, oh yeah, I would have done that. I mean, and I probably would have not felt bad about it. Maybe later on. Now, that's not the person I am. That's not what AA taught me. AA has taught me to be a good man, to be a man of service, and not to expect anything in return. I mean, that is what our service work is. That is what the altruistic movement is in AA. We need to be people, men and women of service, and not to expect anything in return. Because usually, I mean, it's been in my experience that you don't have to be alcoholic to be just as sick as me. So, if I'm not going to get a thank you, go about my business, and if it really bothers me, then I need to pray for that person. Because in my experience, when somebody really pisses me off while I'm in this program, I have to pray for them. I have to pray for them. If somebody hurts me now, I have to pray for them. You know why? Because they're just as sick as me. And that is my purpose right now in AA, is to be a man of service, in either in physical service or prayer service. So with that said, right now, I'm going to give my life over to the care of God right now, because I'm powerless. I'm powerless over alcohol, for one, and I'm definitely powerless over the stream of life. I mean, I'm about to get on this road, and I have a tendency to, because I'm alcoholic, I have a tendency to go off in the left field or right field, or go off into the past or the future. And if I do that while I'm on the road, I'm going to be a danger to others. So I need to set my mind right now, okay? And by doing so, I'm going to give my life over to my higher power. His will be done, not mine. So now, with that said, I admitted complete defeat in 12-13-12, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because it's all that I had. I mean, at the time I thought that it was giving me what I needed, which was self-confidence, security, you name it. I mean, everything that I got from it when I first started drinking way back in the day. But alcohol in the end became my best friend. It was the double-edged sword. It comforted me and it fucked me over. Okay. Life began for me when I was 6 years old. I was diagnosed with an astrocytoma tethered cord tumor in my spine. It was wrapped around my spinal nerves that controlled my lower extremities. So it affected my bladder control, bowel control, and my my lower extremities. So, you know, I was a laughing stock to my peers in the grade school years, and it lasted all the way up in the kind of high school. Not as bad because I've ended up becoming a bully. I mean, if I thought somebody was making fun of me or something, I would bully them or something. Or if I even thought that they were I was going to bully them. Let's just put it this way. I developed a sixth sense that anybody nobody's going to like me, so I might as well bully them. I mean, and that's the sense of self that I had kind of developed early on. I mean, kids made fun of me, kids laughed and pointed at me. I pissed on myself and I crapped on myself growing up, and I walked different, and I wore braces on my legs to help me walk. I was tripping a lot, and kids made fun of me. Kids noticed these things and they made fun of me. And so naturally I developed very poor, low self-esteem. I became very paranoid, because I was wondering who was looking or staring at me. And I developed some low confidence early on in life, and this followed me all throughout my life. So naturally I started, at a very young age, I started feeling like shit. I mean, and in high school, when I started drinking, I noticed, it put an end to the way I was feeling. Not only that, it helped me forget who I was. I didn't like who I was. I mean, and from the get-go, I was a blackout drunk. From the get-go, I suffered DTs, detox. I mean, bad hangovers. I suffered early on psychosis. I mean, and that was actually induced by the psychedelics and the cocaine and the meth that I was doing too. So alcohol kind of alleviated that, and and towards the end, alcohol was actually causing me to have, even while I was drinking, psychosis. So while I was drinking, there was psychosis. While I was sobering up, there was psychosis. And if you've ever had psychosis, you'll know that with that comes an impending doom. There comes this extreme anxiety, and then just because you're going through all this shit, you're depressed. So you need something to really kind of distort all that crap. So naturally you're searching for other drugs to make yourself feel better, not have to go through that crap. Because I tell you what, psychosis and that impending doom, it puts you on your ass. It put me on my ass. That's why I have a lot of job history. I mean, I've quit jobs, I've been fired from jobs just because I did not want to go in. I mean, because I couldn't talk to people. The sense of fear, the sense of low self, everything was heightened. I mean, there in the end. So I didn't want to be around no one. Growing up, I was full of fear at a young age. Fear all through my life. And when I look at pictures of myself growing up as a young boy, before the age of 6, I wasn't smiling much. I seemed like an unhappy kid. So, I don't know. So I believe that, these early life experiences is what kind of made me turn to the booze and the drugs, and the alcohol ultimately became my best friend. It was what restored me to sanity. But I mean, but in the end, it really affected my body. It affected my mind. It affected my spirituality. It affected everything. I mean, and I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't have any friends. I'd make friends and I'd lose friends. I tried hard to not get so drunk around people, but that's what I was. I would get drunk. I mean, I would have to get drunk because it would help me talk to people. It would help me be sociable. It would help me talk to girls. And there in the end, it just wasn't. It wasn't doing it for me anymore, and I kept trying to chase it. There in the very end, I still kept trying to. I was so insane. I thought that I tried everything up until the end to change things around, to give me that feeling, to help me out. I mean, but it didn't. So that last day, 12/13/12, I was curled up into a ball. I mean, literally, because my muscles were cramped up because I didn't have any nutrients in my body. I wasn't drinking water, just alcohol. I was in my apartment and had piss all over myself, piss in the bed. I didn't care. I mean, and this sense of hopelessness, severe hopelessness, just overcame me that day. And I thought that this was going to be it, that this was me, because the only thing that was on my mind was either killing myself or getting to the store to get some more alcohol so I could alleviate some of the mental crap that was going on. I mean, but I knew that if I did that, I was going to have to drink the rest of the day, and I was going to have to drink the next morning, and then I was going to have to drink that next day, and then so on and so forth. That became the pattern. So I got up, got my keys, I loaded my shit, went to the store, got a few beers for the ride home, and at that point, when I got home, called up a buddy, and AA started. And and since then, life has been a whole lot easier. I've mended relationships, and there's more to come. More to come, more stories. But I'm gonna get on the road, and I'm gonna get on the road again. You guys have a good day. Stay safe out there, and if you're new to the program, get your ass to a meeting and start doing exactly what they tell you. Remember, a suggestion in AA means do it or die. We just can't tell you what to do, because as an alcoholic, me, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I would rather it be suggested. But when we suggest something, we mean do it or die. And you may not die physically, you may not die mentally, but you're going to die spiritually. And it's not a good place to be. I've been there. So, meeting, big buck, get you a sponsor. And if you find yourself kind of lonely, just come on this channel. Hopefully I have some more content up. I'll talk more about myself and try to read some paragraphs from the big book and talk about it, give my 2 cents about it. So you guys have a good day. Take it easy.